Hi guys, so welcome to another episode of Takeaway Scripture. My name is Shari, the producer. People call me Charity, and I'm delighted today to share with you my salvation story or journey. So let me first say this, that I have been brought up in a Christian family. So growing up, nilienda Sunday school, nili grew up Sunday school, by the way. And then one time when we were young, my brother, who is older than me with I think three years, yes, my brother decided to move to another church. And so that time we were in full gospel. So my young brother, when we were still in Sunday school, so he moved to KAG. Later on, I don't know what impressed him about going to that church. And so later on, I also moved. So we left my parents at their previous church. All the churches were really good actually. So sisemi ati moja ilikuwa kwa ingine mbaya. All the churches were really good. So when we moved, our parents wakakaa I think hata tukakuwa teenagers, sasa tuko teenagehood. Then my parents also decided to move. And so nisha grow sasa, nishaenda high school and all of that. So when I was in Form 2, something really tragic happened. So there was this time I was going back to school. I hated tuition. I loved tuition ya nyumbani because I could travel, nikienda shule every day, napewa pesa ya lunch and all those things. But hii ya kukaa shule, boarding school, ilikuwa inanichoke, ilikuwa inani affect. So what happened is that so I went, let me speak to English because I know there are people who may not understand my Swahili, but I'll put it in hapa na pale, here and there. So what happened is that there was this time I was going back to school, and my mom had given me an escort as usual. She used to ensure nimepanda gari, and I've gone until nimeenda. So this time my heart was so heavy. I didn't want to go back to school, and my mom was there with me. She came up to the window and told me, "You have a nice time in school, enjoy your tuition." And I'm looking at her and I felt ushisikia kitu kwa roho, ni kama I felt ni kama tunaachana, and I didn't want that feeling of leaving home. Even today, every time I'm leaving home, nikana kwanga mgonjwa, I get sick. That hiyo kuachana inakuanga hard for me. I don't know why, but it becomes really hard for me. So it figured that time where my mom akakuja akanipeleka hadi kwa stage and bid me goodbye. So mi nikaingia mat. She looked at me, told me the words for goodbye, and I teared down. I didn't let her see. So after ameenda, machozi zilimwagika. Yani I felt so bad. I could not understand or even explain why I was crying, but it was so hard for me. And she was smiling at me. It was sad. I didn't know that was the last time I'm ever gonna see her standing on her 2 feet. When I came back out of school, my mom was in a wheelchair. I left her. Nilimwacha akiwa sawa. Like, she was not sick. She was smiling at me. Sikuwa nimesikia ako sick anywhere. The next time I'm coming, she's in a wheelchair. She's struggling with hair loss. She's lost weight. And I was like, hey. So that's when I was told that she was diagnosed with cancer. And it was really, really hard for me to take in. Eventually she passed on. And man, it was tough. It was so hard. I'm not a person who cries in front of people. In fact, kama kuna watu wameona nikilia, wako privileged. It's hard for me to tear, unless the people who just are really close to me, they are the only ones maybe wameniona nikilia in real sense, because I rarely cry in front of people. So when those news broke to me, I broke down, and ikakuwa so hard. So anyway, that was a long time ago. I was in form 2. Yeah, I was in form 2. And the thing is, it affected me so much because I had grown up in church. I had seen my mom serving God fully. Number one, she was a praise and worshiper. She loved the Lord. She was like, hey, if there was a woman, yani she used to come home, anapika, anajifungia kwa bedroom, anaomba. And you know, today I remember those things and I see myself in her. So she used to be a prayerful woman. She could pray. She had this book. She had written songs that she wanted to produce or to ever sing. I don't know whether she had a mind, an aim of ever singing them ever in future. But she had this book, alikuwa ameandika songs. And she used to study the word. She was an encourager. She used to feed the orphans. Things hata mimi sijaifanya ama kukuwa moved kufanya. But she used to help the widows. She used to feed she was a good woman. That's the good thing. Those are the things I remember about her. She was hardworking. She used to take me tunazunguka the entire of our village tukiuza majani, because that was our life back then. And I thank God, because God is able to change people's lives. So yeah, my mom passed on, and it hit me so hard. I lost my faith in God because I was not grounded. I had just grown up in, kanisa, and I hadn't personally given my life to Jesus. Ile ya kurudia all the time in church, yes, but ile personal decision, ile conscious decision, I hadn't done it on my own. And so it changed me kabisa. I became someone totally different. I started becoming an atheist, if I would say, because I used to tell my classmates, I don't believe in God. He does not exist. I began doing crazy things, naenda entertainment. Nilikuwa wale wasichana wa kufungia blouse hapa, niko na tumbo cut. Thank God then nilikuwa na tumbo flat. Nafungia hapa na dance, because I used to love dancing. And I had so much influence. I was among the notorious people, always on noisemakers from Form 1 to Form 2. Until nikafanywa prefect. For some reason, why would people even choose the most notorious person to be a prefect? But that also changed my life. So moving forward, I began influencing even my peers not to believe in God. Entertainment was fun, all those songs. So I became like that. But this time I was now in Form 3, nimeenda nyumbani, and there was a conference. I remember that pastor was called Pastor Timothy, and he looked at me and he said, "You lady in red." And I was like, hey, tuko wawili hapa. Mimi nikajifanya hata sio mimi, because sikuwa napenda kupoint out na prophets ama na mapastors ndio wasini expose. I don't remember what words he said. In fact, by the way, because he said, no, not the other one, you. I was like, me. I was like, yes, you come. And this kumbukangi what he said, but he spoke things, and I cried. I don't remember what he said. And that night, I gave my life to Jesus. I became so passionate about God. I used to go read scriptures every morning preps. And I extend nakula hadi time ya preps. Na watu wananisikiza. Hadi wale walimu wako on duty wanakuja nasema, go and sit, it is time for studies. Mimi niko tu hapo. Namaliza tunaomba na kiti. So it what I'm trying to say, it changed my life. But when I went to school, nilikuwa hadi naogopa niko, what will people say about me? They knew me as this msichana naughty wa entertainment. I used to, nilikuwa na matusi, like those words, the nasty words used to come out of my mouth easily hivi. So nilikuwa nimeambia God, aki watu wataenda waseme aje about myself, that nimeokoka, nimekuwa different, people will not even believe me. Uzuri, that time when I went back to school, there was another lady who was very notorious pia, alikuwa pia ameokoka over the holidays. So tukirudi shule, mimi nikasimama tu nikaambia watu, by the way mimi nilichange, mimi niliokoka, mimi naenda CU. Guys were shocked, but then that lady who was also notorious joined me and she was like, even me. So now we began changing people now to Christian Union and making it look fun, and not everyone came, but we became an influence again to the kingdom of light. So that's how I got born again, by the way, guys. Story yangu imeisha. I thought the story is longer than that, but there is more to that. My salvation journey is longer than that, but all I want to say is that God changed my life, and I thank God for not taking me, taking my breath away when I was still in sin, because I don't know what I wouldn't want to live a life separate outside the presence of God. My mom would have been so disappointed with me, but now I'm grateful to God that He turned my life around when I was in high school, and up to now it's been a journey, a road, but totally worth it. So I started gaining, I would give you more about it, but that's how I got born again, and my faith in God rose again. I started reading the scriptures for myself, and sometimes, but let me tell you, after high school things, wacha nikwambie, tunaambianga ukiokoka, God will bless you, your life will never be the same again. Of course, your life will never be the same again, but it's not all roses. It is not. Evangelists wanafaa tu watuambiange ukweli. But when you get born again, there is a lot of affliction. But the good thing is that God promises that He will deliver you out of them all. Not that you won't go through affliction, but He will deliver you out of them all. So, but after that, I started yearning for more of God. Nimetumiwa na Mungu. Hiyo time kwanza after shule, a lot of things happened. If I give you that story, it will take a long journey. But today was just to say how God saved my life, and how that changed my life for the better. I began serving God so passionately, and I don't regret the decision that I made.